So today's session, we are going to develop a web application. In this web application, we are going to connect MySQL database. We are going to integrate Spring Boot application with the web project, and we are going to connect through the remotely with MySQL database. After configuring the database, we are going to see how we can create certain entities, repository, service, everything that with the help of JPA, and we'll understand the JPA architecture as well going forward. And the last, we are going to expose our data model. Data model is the database, the table what we are going to create with the help of REST APIs. Okay, let's begin the session.
Namaste. Welcome to
Bit
Science. Unlock the secrets of life
and technology.
Introduction to developing web application using MySQL. In here, we are going to do some certain step, follow how we can connect our MySQL. So until this, we were connecting with S2 database, which was in-memory database, which comes with Spring Boot. So when you connect with, you get all the features just like this MySQL. That is not the MySQL, but we are able to connect the database, retrieve the data, and store the data. So we saw few operations. So majorly, MySQL is an open source. If you see in the organization, many big MNC, they still use MySQL because of good feature around with that. So we are going to integrate the Spring Boot web project with MySQL. To do that, we have to first create a MySQL database. We are going to open this MySQL Workbench, and we are going to create MySQL database, and then tables and certain attribute for those tables. We are going to do that. Then we will come back to our Spring Boot application, where we are going to add certain dependency which required to connect the MySQL. In that, we are going to use MySQL connector, data JPA, data REST. We'll address why we are using, why we have choose this. Then after, we're going to set MySQL connection configuration. How you are going to connect those configuration means credential, connect those connection, what are the class path is required, those we're going to provide them. Then we will create certain controller entities for those tables, few services for those entities we have created, repository to connect or retrieve the data from your database. Next, we were going to do some mapping. We are going to create some methods with JPA. At the end, we will also see how we can expose a data model with using of REST. Then we'll build whole application and run the for that, go to your spring.start spring.io. This is Spring Initializer. We are going to use the latest one, 3, and this is going to be web Spring MySQL. I will put that here itself. For that, I need certain dependency. First, I will take a def tool, time leaf. These are required. It's optional to the first two, as because we want to restart whenever we change certain code, and also this is going to be web, so that's why we need time leaf in order to create holistic web UI, and we will bind those data with time leaf. So for that reason, we also required MySQL connector, MySQL driver. We required data JPA. We also required REST data, REST repository. That's it. For if you see explode, you will see that what are the dependency we have added: data JPA, data REST, time leaf, dev tool, connector J for MySQL. Let's download this and export in our Eclipse. Okay, come back to Eclipse, export, open project from the file system, find the directory, finish. If you open this, it will start building your application with the help of Maven. You will see the structure will be changed. It will not be like this. At this point, you need internet connection to get updated, or it will start downloading. So I believe still it's downloading. You can see the structure has been changed. I changed the version because it was in 17, which I don't have. I have 11. Go to your build path and change the JDK, JRE to JDK, because we have to build this first. I'm using Maven build, writing clean space install. However, we have to change this build to 11. Go to properties, and we have to change this type. Go to library, I believe, yeah, in the edit section. Take the JDK if you have, or find that path. Rebuilding this whole application, you can see in the console. If there is error, we have to close before building it. There are some version change because of that. This is showing up. Changing Java version 16. Let's see. So incompatibility of API. So guys, you do what is go to the property, go to your project facet, convert to project facet, and you will also see some version, every version for each. You will see that. See, you can see that Java version is still 11, so we need to change to 16, which I have, which is running right now. Also, you can click this JPA because JPA we want to configure that database with JPA. That's why I have ticked to this and say apply, apply and close. So now if you rerun, rebuild this application, okay, I believe this seems to be working, but it requires some certain property file, because what happens when you build an application with having MySQL, it checks the properties of the connection, how it should be established. It doesn't have problem when you run the application. For that, you need to add certain properties in the application or property file. Here are those. So what I did is, if you see data source is URL, this is my local one, and this is the default port. My schema, it can be any schema, so we'll provide MySQL for now, and root is my user, and also password is root. And how you're going to have connect this when we try to build that, we need to use this driver instead of that one, because that is depreciated. You can see the test fail is run and it is successful. We need to change this to this driver class. So this whole thing was with the version problem. What we understood, version 3 or more than this, we cannot go further 11. Version 3 is only dependent on more than 11. At this moment, we are able to configure or able to build a simple web application, but it doesn't have any code. It is simple Spring Boot application. Okay. So for that, we need to open MySQL. We need to create some data table, and then we'll configure the same thing here. As you can see, this is MySQL Workbench. If you go to admin, you probably see your whole all the schema, all the table. So you can see in the session 1, we had some candidate, class, connect, geometry. We have our default system schema as well. What we can do is we can create our own schema, and we'll say RESTful. Okay. This is going to be new schema. I'm saying finish. So RESTful is there. Open this. At present, there are no table. We'll create table. We'll say product as a new table. It should have product ID. I will create ID. I will also mention this is a primary key, and also required product name. I'll just say name, price, right? So you can see ID is int. That's fine. I will change this to, let's take a medium text. Okay. Price, let's take double here, and I'm keeping that everything is non-null. We also have to create another table called, we'll say order ID. Okay, that will also integer. With this, we'll say apply. So this is your whole table, how it's going to under RESTful new schema. Say apply and say finish if everything goes fine. So you'll under that table, you will see one product created. We're going to also create another table called orders. We will say order ID. We can also have description. What is description? You should also have a customer ID, like who has ordered this one, who customer ID associated with that. Okay, so now we have one ID. Description, you can say, okay, let's not take ID. Let's say address, where it has to address, right? We will use this as a where it has to deliver. Say medium text for now. Also, we'll say customer ID for int. We are not, I'm not keeping not null. I'm not selecting this. So we'll see if required, we can do it later. Address, it has to be not null. We can also add phone number, contact details, medium text or tiny text, because number, I understand this could be number, but sometimes people just add unrelated text. That's why we will keep that as a varchar or any text thing. Okay, we can also go to foreign key and create a foreign key and go back to our product table. Now, as we have already created that orders, now you go to foreign key. Now if you try to create, you will be able to create. Okay, wait a moment. It should be orders here. ID. Yeah, now I can see the whole table for that. So be cautious when you're trying to add a foreign key with the help of this environment, or you can also do it by writing command. That would be the best option. You know what you're going to do it, but here you need to figure out the table, which table is associated with it. Doesn't show exact which table, so that it's a little bit confusing. So we'll take ID from that. Now it seems correct. Order ID of this product and ID of that orders. We'll say apply. Now you can see the alter what is happening. It's taking the order and alter ID of that reference from this and deleting that. Okay. We'll say finish. Okay. First, always think about the associated one, means which is dependent on. Order can be created depending on the product. So first I need to create an order. Write some address. Let's say till the first order. Customer ID I will pick one for now. I will say random number. Bangalore. This is also customer 2. I will also pick random number 3. Mumbai. Let's try to insert this. This is the way to insert. Apply it. Yeah, everything is fine, means that you will be able to see. So you can, these are the orders we have created. Now if you go back to your product, click this icon to see your product. Now you will be able to put your product name. So my product is, first is washing machine. Price would be 27,000 and keep order is will take by 1. So you have to reference to that table. To smartphone, which is 11,000, order by 2. This is another order and product. So in one order you can have multiple things, right? So this is going to be smart TV. I will take 21,000 here and put that here for customer 1, for the customer 1 for the order 1. So one under one order there can be multiple products. So I have not placed for order 3, so which is going to Mumbai, and we'll place that. So let's say this is here's order vegetables, okay, which costs around 500, which is going to order 3. He has also ordered milk, paneer, curd, all dry product, which will cost around 200, and will place to third. Okay, if you say apply and see if everything goes fine, you will be able to see executed data. Now if you again run this, you will see all your data here. So right now we are able to create some tables and added some data. One more thing we have missed is we need to change this property to testful, because this is how it needs to connect. We will use JPA configuration. We'll change this to JPA. I believe we have already did that. If you are not able to, go to project facet, click this JPA. So this will connect your data JPA, okay, and say apply. You must be saying seeing this JPA tools, right? Now I want to get all my tables to entity. So what is my tables? This is my MySQL tables. I want these two tables in my as a code. So we are not going to create any code for creating the entities. We are going to do with the JP tool. We'll see that will be very easy and the fast way. Generate tables from entities. No, I want to generate entities from tables. You'll see a dialog box saying that connections. So there are multiple connections. I will show you how to create a connection. Go to create new and see MySQL, because you have MySQL connection here. I will say RESTful MySQL. Say next. Now you will be see all the credential which we have provided. Say save, click and write the password as well. So if you remember, we have our own schema which is RESTful. So change this RESTful schema. Which database you want to pick, you can also give those database. I believe I have RESTful itself. That's my schema as well. So you can also place the same thing here. Try test connection. If everything goes fine, you will be seeing the successful ping successful. That means your connection is correct, and also the schema you are trying to get, that is also correct. Go next and you will see all the connection what you have wanted. Say finish. Your new connection will be appear here in your list, and the schema under down you will see the RESTful. This is the exact name of your table associated within your MySQL Workbench. If you click, you will see all the orders, all the table which is present under the schema. Okay, right now this is also associated with a certain user. This is, if you see, when we created, we have given user as a root. Root was the admin, and admin has all rights. If the admin has all have given all permission to access, like other third party can also access, then you will be able to see all the table. If not, then you have to change the permissions. If you know how to change, you can revisit the old video how we can grant permission, revoke permission, right? By default, you don't need to do much. If everything goes fine, then you will be able to see those tables. Now you go to, they say finish, you will see all your table associated, how this is linked, how relationship. You can see star means many, one orders can have many products. If you say next, it will start generating your table. So first it will check what you want. This is under this your package here eagerly, okay, in order to get all my data. And here you can say automatic, I will take identity by key. So key means the primary key, how you want to generate that. And this SQL fetch means if there is a relationship between two table, how the data should. So eagerly, lazy load and eager load, those are very important topic when comes to interview. By default it will be always be eager. There is a difference. If you have 10,000 1 lakh of data, eager is not the correct approach. Lazy would be good, because eagerly will take a lot of data collection at the beginning, but eventually it will be faster when to retrieve. But in the lazy, what will happen, it will be only collect call when it is required. Hope you understood the point, that there are two tables will be created. Now at the end is finished, so just wait and watch. You will see all your order and model will be placed under here. So if you click order, you will see your entity. So I have not did any coding here, it has generated everything for me, all the setter getter, all the attribute, all the column, it has generated. So this approach has a limitation and disadvantage. Why? Because if you see in the code, this first annotation id means that this is a primary key. If you have given this becomes a primary, and this is it has become lob. So why lob is associated with big data, big chunk of data. But my address is simple text, medium text, right? But in Spring it doesn't able to understand what is that medium text. That's why it has taken the largest data. So what I'm going to do is we'll change to column here. So this is the disadvantage with the JPA 2. You will get the whole code, but then you have to change certain things. You need to have a understanding what has to change. And also you will see all are in primitive type. I want to change this to wrapper class. I've changed everything to into wrapper class. The other part is, you see what we were trying to do eagerly. So one to many, it has many means this one means this whole class is a one. If there are one order, there will be many products. And how you want to map means, if you go to product, you will be seeing this order in this. If you go to product, search by order. If you find order, exact name of the attribute, then this will be associated with that product. Fetch type can be lazy. You can see lazy and eager. Come back to product. So product also have, you can see here also, I will change to column. And also we need to change this int to our wrapper class integer. This looks correct. Now our part is main thing is done. I will create one controller class. I will say controller and say finish. Now this controller is a RESTful controller, okay, and also we'll create new and say interface repository. We'll add CRUD repository as a extended of this. We'll say finish, and you will see this product repository. We'll say repository here. We have not added the repository annotation. Something was with Hibernate, I believe. We missed that. We need to get one more dependency. I guess Spring Web was missing. We'll see how we can add Spring Web. I'm using this dependency to add. Go to your POM, append this in your dependency. This is useful because if you try to write repository, you will not able to import this. This is not present anywhere. So if you save everything and if that dependency is there, you will able to see which is under Spring persistent one. Now you can see this the error will go. Yeah, this looks correct. Now we need to add here two things. This is part of product, so I will say product, and this is integer. Same I need for order as well. We'll create another order repository. Add CRUD. As CRUD you can take, or you can say also JPA repository. Both are correct. JPA is the base, CRUD is the subset of the JPA. Okay, you can see this here. It should be order, and here it should be integer, and also add repository. Up to this, everything is fine. And now create common service for everything. Product order service. Okay, well, we have created product order service. We can auto wire both, which is part of this. this is dependent on this. So this repository, this product and the order are both are dependent on this product service. Without that, this will not be created. So I will also change here to repository. First of all, I will show you how you can expose your database. So we have this database order and this product. Let's expose this without creating RESTful app, how we can see all my data. If you remember, we have added one dependency called data rest. This is going to help us see your database in JSON format. We'll use repository rest resource. So instead of this, we'll use rest resource. This is coming from data rest. So rest resource will create this order and also will tell how you want to use this. We'll create a URL path for that. So whatever you write here, by this way you will be able to fetch all your database. Same thing will add for product. Go to your product repository. Here it has to be product. Now everything goes fine. First we want to demonstrate how you can see your data. Let's build this application. So you can see my application is built successful. Now come back to your application and run this application. Go to your main RESTful application and go to run as and go Java application. My application is running. I can understand by this. Now, if you go to your web browser, any browser, write localhost 8080, and after that, you need to add product, the product one. So if you just go to this one, you will able to see all your RESTful API. So here you get a JSON data. Here you can see this product, right? How you want to get the product by this link. And this is for profiling. So profile is not relevant to this demonstration. We can use this product to get our product list. So you can see my product has some data. If you want to do some sorting or anything with the help of this link, you can do that. So I will just copy this link and paste it over here. So you will see all your product data. So if you see the data in the product, you have a array. Under array, you have one object called name price. If you want to get only for the product one, you can use this link. And if you want to get the order, then you can use this link. Let's see what it means. If you click order, you will see only the order associated with that product called one. So this example, this RESTful data has its own disadvantage. What it means that when you use this, you are actually exposing your database to the intruder. Means any hacker or any person can actually see your whole data, which is not a good idea. That's why we create REST controller, or you can also restrict in the product. When you go to this product repository, you can restrict by adding few more conditions here. Okay, one thing I want to check, this also comes with pagination or something, right? You can also visit this order. You will see all your orders here. You can also add a pagination. To how you can add, just add question mark and say short by address, for example. So we can see this Bangalore at the beginning, D then, and the Mumbai. These are shorting way. And also if you can use size, so it will also restrict. You can add and say size to 2. So you will see only 2 data shorted by address. Isn't that wonderful? Let's see how we can use this URL to see in our UI. So right now we haven't created any UI. So we'll create some UI. We can create some folder. Under that we can put our HTML pages. So we'll create a index file .html, put under resource. I will put that in a template. Okay, I just created a structure for this. We will create some information about this. This is consumer system. Under that we'll say product details. Under here we will create a table of border equals to 2. Let's take 1. Here I will require some body, the table header, t header. This will have th. Under that will have td. A product will have, and we'll say id first. Okay, this is order actually, not the price. And you can say order id. So under t body, you need to iterate your whole data. So I will just use this code and change to my product. So this is for product. This has to be the same name of the API. I have name and I guess name is there. Price I have to add. We are using time leaf th for each to iterate the product, and you will see the product. If you want to go to this product, you have to use this embed under. So this is whole JSON will keep I said products. We are going to create inside the backend product. We'll retrieve that. This looks fine.
We'll see you in next session. Hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop.